Welcome, everybody. John Zager, johnzager.com. How's everybody doing today? Good? Good, good. Wanted to talk to you today about losing your freedoms and losing our freedoms, I guess is the better way to put that. I have a glass here from 7-Eleven of decaffeinated coffee with ice. It's very good. But anyway, I talked yesterday a little bit about 2020 and the tragedies of all the stuff that's going on. And I got a big response. So I thought I'd come back and maybe touch on some of that again. In particular, how we are losing our rights. And because of the pandemic, however you want to figure out the pandemic, everybody's got a different opinion of that. And mine just so happens to be that, it was manufactured in Wuhan in a biochemical warfare lab. We all have them. All countries have them. It's not anything in particular. And we all study and do research and test various ways for chemical warfare, at a later date and time. I think, and I believe, and this isn't even a theory, it's just kind of a guess on my part, that some of that virus leaked out. I don't even think it was intentional. I think it just leaked out. And as a result, there's a lot of countries that tried different ways to handle that, to curb the death rate. Yes? And again, the death rate, if I'm not mistaken from the CDC, is 0.43 hundredths of 1% chance of getting the virus and dying. That was last week's statistics and research. Not mine. I'm not making anything up. Go fact check anything you want that I say. I'm just telling you what I read, and that's what the CDC came up with. So at any rate, I think it's something that just leaked out, and it's caused a lot of damage and tragedy in the world, and for that I am really sorry about. But the other side of the coin is that different countries have handled it in different ways, right? Sweden, and again, this is just research, not me, trying to come up with anything, that it's just research stuff that it's been pretty much all over the internet that Sweden never shut down. They never stopped anything from what they had originally been doing before the pandemic. And they have a death rate of insignificant amount, and people contracting the virus in an insignificant amount of people. Again, just, go fact check it, go look it up. I mean, I'm just passing information on to you that I've obtained in my research, and I usually try to get two other sources to collaborate what I find. Okay, the United States, on the other hand, has taken advantage of how far can we get these people to follow whatever it is we say to them, based on whether the information we give them is accurate or not. Okay? If you look at all of the numbers of all of the deaths related to the virus, the information has been exaggerated and expanded, and they have used cases of people that die not from the virus, but from all kinds of other sources. But they lump them all together that way. The numbers that we are given are clearly not the numbers that are accurate with the virus, the people that get the virus, the people that die of the virus. Again, just go do your research. I'm not gaining. I'd gain nothing by giving you misinformation. That's not my intent. As a result of that, there are politicians, and we know that the politics of today are different than the politics of 20, 30, 40 years ago, right? And what used to be a middle of the road, Democrat and Republican, and people tried to work with each other on both sides for the betterment of the country, does not and no longer occurs. I don't think there's any argument with that one. The Democratic Party is since long gone, and it now seems to be, liberal, progressive, socialist party. The Republican or conservative side seems to be for the Constitution and that sort of stuff. And they're fighting with each other to see who is going to win out and whether our country is going to move into socialism or remain in a position where our freedoms are important. So therefore the governments in the liberal areas, and again, this is just information, you guys, don't get all excited. Where there's progressive, liberal, socialist mayors and governors, not so much senators, but clearly House of Representatives, they are doing everything in their power to get us to become sheep and follow whatever fear-mongering they present to us. Here's the result of that. It's pretty simple. There are people that believe in liberal progressive socialism and they appear to be the people walking around in the open out where there's nothing happening with their masks. They are the people that are what would you say? They're driving around in their cars and pickup trucks with their masks on. They appear to be frightened. They appear to be frightened that some particle, virus particle, is going to contaminate them. They bought hook, line, and sinker everything that the progressive, liberal, socialist politicians have presented to us. Likewise, we have rich, white, one world order, extremely wealthy individuals that have paid people of all color, all right, to go and destroy, rape, and pillage um, loot, burn, rob, destroy, cause violence and death to people because their needs are great enough that the money exceeds the job that's being asked for them to do. Their personalities are such, right, that they're the perfect people for the job. And now they are being positioned into coming into rural America, the towns, and doing the same there. 2 days ago, the media reported that these people have gone into one particular small town in a state. I don't sit around and try to remember this stuff. Went around into a neighborhood, broke into every single house, told the people to get out. They now own everything that's in the house, including the house, and caused violence to the people that tried to contest that. You might see that as losing your rights and your property from those individuals, but it's basically from government and rich, wealthy, one world order people, right? This is all not going to go away. This is all not going to just get better. They're going to use the pandemic for as long as they can get away with controlling people. They're basically learning what they can do with people if they really want to, and how much control they can obtain from people through fear-mongering. People a lot of people seem to be fairly ignorant of the information. I don't know if they don't go out and research stuff, or they don't have an opinion, or they're scared themselves that there would be retaliation. I'm not sure. The end result seems to be going in a direction that good people are going to be put and pushed into a position of doing bad things. I think, and this is just my opinion now, I think we're all going to get bloody on this thing. You call it however you want, but this is not a time for you to do nothing and say nothing. This is a time for people to do their research, and take off your masks. Use that as a motto or a mantra, right? Just take off your masks. Just take off your masks and go into Walmart, or go into all the box stores, or go into the grocery stores. And when they stop you, just say, call the police. Just call the police. They have now said, here's the next thing that's big and significant, that they will arrest you and fine you thousands of dollars if you don't take the virus antidote or vaccine. I'm not ever going to take it, right? They're now saying they can take more of your rights away if you don't take it. Here's what needs to happen. You need to say no. You need to say no. And tell them to call the police. If enough of us resist, push back, refuse to accept their fear-mongering, we regain control. If we do not do this, we will not ever regain our freedoms and control back. We're at a juncture right now where it's going to either turn for the worse, based on all of us just reading and doing research and listening and watching and talking to people, or it's going to stop. What's happened with the virus has happened with the virus, and that's bad, and we're all sad about that. But now we're at a point where we need to stop the crime and the violence, and we're not going to be intimidated. We're just not going to be intimidated. I've been stopped twice in a grocery store and a box store for not having my mask on properly. And I said, well, I don't know, gotta breathe. You're supposed to have 21 units and above of oxygen, and with the mask on, you only get 16 or 17, and the CDC and various medical things say, you know, you could have a stroke or a heart attack if you're exerting yourself. A lot of people are at risk for wearing the mask. The mask doesn't stop the particles anyway. Do the research. It's not me. And, you know, go fact check it if you want, all you liberals and progressives and socialists. I know you're just dying out there to do that. So the police come and they say, John, just go home. We'll talk to these people, you know. We have crime to fight, right? The police. We need the police to fight crime. We don't have time to come to these stores if somebody doesn't have their mask on, let alone on properly. So the response you're probably going to get is along those lines. But if you don't do something about it, they, the government, so to speak, it's just going to get stronger, and they're going to take more and more freedoms away from you. So I've presented this in a very calm, intelligent, respectful manner to all concerned, without fear-mongering. It's just information we all have. And I'm not willing to lose my freedoms. I don't believe in Black Lives Matter. I believe in all lives matter. I'm not going to lose my freedom. I'm not. You come into my neighborhood and try to attack my house, you're dead. That's who wouldn't do that? Are you not going to protect your wife, your daughter, your son, if these people come in and try to take over your house and harm you and your family. It's just common sense. This is common sense psychology. We got into this mess because the baby boomer mothers became liberated and progressive, and they wanted to give everybody more and more rights. And as a result, the world doesn't work that way. Not everybody is entitled to all of the stuff that those people were wanting. There has to be some rule of law. And to say that people can run loose in the cities and burn down our cities and hurt and maim and kill people, it's not possible, you guys. It's not possible for that to happen. So again, I will say one more time, take off your masks. Just say, call the police. Every one of us needs to take off our masks and go into the stores. You're not going to get a virus. Go do your research. You're not going to get a virus. You got to stop it before they actually do start arresting you and charging you huge sums of money if you're not willing to be submissive and a sheep to everything that they want, everything they want you to do. They're wanting to take away your freedoms. You've heard about communism, you've watched communism if you're old enough, and you know it doesn't work. And the people are left with whatever meager food and clothing that the government decides to give you. It's not going to happen in America. I don't kneel, so that's not ever going to happen with me. And we have all those athletes making tons of money protesting, our government when they kneel. I don't know, does that bother you? My thinking is maybe they need to go back to wherever they came from. There's that little 3 girls, the Dixie Chicks, which spoke against the presidency and the government some years ago, and they were blackballed from country music. Doesn't matter what kind of music, they just were out of line. And a lot of people put them back into line, and they lost millions and millions of dollars. And now they're back and they're doing the same thing. Does that bother you? Does that bother you? That there's people making money off of disrespecting our country. So anyway, I've kind of gone too long. Just say no. Just say no. It's not going to happen. Don't get angry. Don't get violent. Don't harm anybody. Don't jump up and down and scream at anybody. I don't advocate violence. What I advocate is intelligence. And just say no. It's not going to happen. You need to call the police, that's fine, but don't you dare put a hand on me. Okay? So I would appreciate it if you would subscribe to my YouTube channel. I need that badly. and follow, if you would, and share it with as many people as you possibly can. I've never made a penny off of any YouTube programs that I've done, and I've done them daily for years. I've never made a penny. I don't know. Maybe if you get enough people to subscribe to my channel and follow it and share with it, maybe there's a chance I'll make a penny. So I ask you to do that. God bless everybody. Take care of one another, and I look forward to talking to you all again real soon. Thanks a lot. See you. Bye.